Greetings and welcome to profneel. Once again, it's a pleasure having you here on Fridays as usual. We have premiering again this Friday, and we all have heard of Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi and her valor, unmatched valor. But we're talking today about the unsung women or the unsung queens of valor, much before Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi. Of course, the tribute to her is undoubtedly is. Worthy with that one sentence that talks about about her courage and her valor. खूब लड़ी थी मर्दानी वो थी झांसी की रानी. But we forget that in this big picture there were other women, other queens who preceded Rani Jhansi much before her. They fought the British and the Portuguese also. The first one, Rani Velunachiyar, the Queen of Shivaganga estate in Tamil Nadu from 1780 to 1790. She was known as the Veera Mangai, the brave woman. She was the only daughter of King Chellamuthu Vijayaraghunatha Chelapati and Queen Sakandi Muttathal of Ramanathapuram district. Though an only daughter, she was raised as a male heir. She was trained in several martial arts such as Silambam and Kalari, was an ace horse rider and also an archer of repute. She also was proficient in languages like Tamil, English, French, Urdu, and the others too. She was married in 1746 to the Shivaganga king Muttu Vadakanda Devar. On his demise, she ascended to the throne, one of the first Indian queens to fight the British, the East India Company then. She formed an army and sought an alliance with Hyder Ali with the aim of launching a campaign against the East India Company in 1780. When Nehru found out that there was a store of ammunition of the East India Company, she managed to launch a suicide attack in those days on that and blasted the entire factory. When she aged in the years, she granted powers to the Maroda brothers to administer the country, and she passed away a few years later on December 25th, 1796. So that's the first lady we talked about today. The second, Kittur Ranichennamma. She was born in Kakati, a small village in north of Belgaum in Karnataka. In 1778, that was almost 56 years before Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi. Again, from a very young age, she received training in horse riding, sword fighting, and archery. She was very well known for her brave acts then also. She was married to Malasarja Desai, the king of Kittur, but her husband died in 1816, 1817, almost a year within her marriage. In 1824, her only son too died. The British imposed the law of doctrine of lapse, which meant that any native ruler whose natural heir passed away, his kingdom automatically became part of the British Empire, became part of the Britishers' territory. She did not accept this, and she went to war against the British. For 12 days, this woman and her soldiers defended the fort against the East India Company. But typically, the common trait of treachery and deceit, which is so much found in India, in all our wars throughout the ages, some of our own mixed mud and cow dung with the gunpowder, and she was taken prisoner. She was sentenced for life in the prison and spent the last days all alone, but not without giving a fight, till her death in 1829. Rani Chowta, Abbakachowta, was the first Tulu king of Ullai who fought the Portuguese in the latter half of the 16th century. She belonged to the Chowta dynasty, that's the coastal parts of Karnataka, Tulunadu, Tulunadu, Tulu as is known. The capital was the town of Ullal, which is also a subsidiary capital and a port. It was of strategic interest at port, especially because the Portuguese then were there, and the Rani had the port under her control, and she was a thorn in the flesh for the Portuguese, who wanted to use force and take over the lucrative trade of spices and merchandise from the western coast to the west. She came to be known as the Abhay Rani, the fearless women, the fearless warrior woman, one of the earliest women to fight the colonizers, but the Portuguese in this case. She and her men repulsed the waves of attack by the Portuguese on that fort for 4 decades. But then finally they had to give in because the Portuguese every time amassed more troops and more power in their ammunition. And she was imprisoned by the Portuguese to finally pass away in captivity. So these are 3 ladies below the Vindhyas who fought the British and the Portuguese. They also, I feel, deserve the same kind of level or the same kind of respect, the same kind of attention, the same kind of detail in our history that Rani Lakshmibai begets. Embrace a twist to enjoy the turn of life.